What is going on, Summoners? Welcome back to another official Marvel Contest of Champions live stream. We're here live at the studio in Vancouver, and we have a very fun and exciting show waiting for you. Of course, as always, we're talking about our new champions, some brand new features, and upcoming events. Stay tuned. It's going to be a good one. Roll the intro. The intro goes there, right? What is going on, Summoners? We are back here today with another official Marvel Contest of Champions live stream. I am your host, Kabam Rex, aka Karate Mike, here at the studio in Vancouver. Live, we got a very stacked and exciting show for all of you today. I'm so excited to be here with you guys. It's always such a pleasure to sit down, hang out with the community. Can't wait to get into it today. So, happy Friday. We got a lot to cover today. It's going to be a very, very exciting one. As always, we're live here on twitch.tv/Kabam, also on YouTube as well. We got Kabam Riggs running the show, also known as Finton. How you doing today, Finton? He's doing good. He's giving the thumbs up over there. We also got our buddy Kabam Vincent in the house. Cannot wait to get going. Let's get that slide deck up on the screen because I am so excited. All right, so got some announcements, as always, for the October 3rd live stream. Hey, Summoners Fest and Battle Realm Brawl is coming up. Super excited about that one. Fantastic Four Saga is almost over. That's not super relevant right now because we got a new one coming up today. We also got that mini EQ. Only 5 days left if you haven't jumped in there to see that fantastic story by Kabam Vincent. Rebirth crystals are now in the Twitch drops. If you aren't linked up with your Twitch drops, make sure you link up your MCOC account to the Twitch drops. That way you can get those sweet Twitch drops with some energy refills, some revives, and also the new Rebirth crystals. Also, Big Dev Diary posted on the forums this previous Wednesday, spent a few days writing that one, covers a bunch of things. It's about, you know, the Spider-Woman situation. It's about EQ, energy, all that stuff. Now listen, obviously there's a bunch of stuff going on in the community right now. There's a bit of talking points happening. Now, I wouldn't feel right going on with the stream, showing you all this stuff, without kind of addressing that first, without talking about that stuff, without sitting down, man to man, man to viewer, man to summoner here, just kind of like talking about all those things here. So we got this nice little wallpaper as a backdrop while we do that. So, listen, won't spend too long on this, but I just want to sit down and kind of talk about it a little bit. You know, I've never been a type of person who tries to like shy away from the tough conversation, who tries to sweep things under the rug. I feel like accountability and sitting down and really saying like, hey, you know, we messed this up. We didn't do this right. We haven't been doing great. I think that's really important, especially, you know, as your community manager, as someone who's takes a lot of pride in bridging the gap between the player base, the game team, MCOC as a whole. I feel like it's really important to kind of build that dialogue with each other and have that transparent communication. So a big part of that dev diary, I'm not going to go over the whole thing. It was very, very long. Go read the whole thing, please. I spent a long time writing it, but we won't go over the entire thing. But a big beat in there was that, hey man, September just was not our best month. Trust us, we know that. We are just as frustrated as all of you are, as all of you have been letting us know. You know, I read all your feedback, I watch all your videos, I do all that stuff, I take it all in, I take it back to the team, I sit down with them, I say, how can we fix this, how can we make this better, how can we make MCOC the premium experience that people have come to expect, you know? And September wasn't it. The past few months, we haven't really been super proud of the product we've been putting out, and we're doing a lot to kind of right that ship and to kind of get back on track. It is a major priority for all of us. So, again, I just kind of want to sit here and take the accountability there and say, hey, we're super sorry about that. Bluntly, we just are not proud of what we've been doing. And we're taking steps to fix that in the future. Now, that being said, actions speak louder than words. And I know that firsthand. So you're going to have to just take our word for it for now, but we're going to have to show you that we mean business. And we do mean business. Because we love this game just as much as you love this game. That's why I'm here 6 hours away from where I live, doing this live stream for you. That's why you're all watching at 9 a.m. And that's why everybody on the team works so many hours every day to make the best experience possible for all of you. So everything that we do as a team, I can promise you we do with the best view for the game in mind. That is always what we're looking to do. So that being said, to touch very briefly on some of the stuff that's in the dev diary, one of the major beats was the Spider-Woman rebalance information. Now, this is one, again, in the spirit of accountability and transparency, this is one I'm taking on the chin personally pretty hard, because I feel like a big aspect of this fumble, no pun intended, pun was absolutely intended actually, was the initial communication, right? When it came to putting out the initial comms. And I feel like I could have personally done a lot better for all of you when it comes to doing that. So again, I'm not the type of person who's gonna shy away from that tough accountability, from that tough conversation. And, you know, at the end of the day, I've taken some things away from this. I've learned from it. The whole team has learned from the situation as a whole. And it's a lot of stuff that we're going to apply for the future. So I'm not going to talk too much on Spider-Woman. I just wanted to get that part out there. If you want more information, insight into the actual balance part, what the balance team is doing, go check out the dev diary on that part. Some other things going on in the dev diary was EQ, energy, all that kind of stuff, right? We'll be talking about that later on in the stream, so I'm not going to be boring you with that 2 times. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But the big part of it was just, hey, we're not happy with the product we've been putting out, and we're taking some steps forward to right that ship, rebuild that trust between us and you, and make sure we all have the best experience possible in the game so everyone's having a great time. That's really important to us because we love this as much as you do. So, with all that being said, that's what the dev diary is about. Go give it a read. Now we can kind of start to get back to the show because we have an absolutely stacked show here for you today. And there is one more thing, though. There is one more thing. Can we get back to the slide deck? Beautiful. So there is one more thing here. You know, we haven't been doing the best with the product, as we've said, and we have also been building that general compensation package for all of you. And we've been kind of promising that since the Alliance War season when we pseudo-canceled the season, all of that kind of stuff with the connection issues. That compensation is coming to you very, very soon. In fact, extremely soon. Vincent, you checking?
He's loading.
He's loading?
I gotta restart.
He's got to restart. Anyway, if you log in game right now, that compensation should be there. So go ahead and log in. Make sure you check that. Can we get a confirmation, bud?
The phone works how
the phone works how the phone works. But anyway, that conversation should be live in game now. So make sure you log in, check that out. If you're a Valiant player, there should be a Titan Nexus in there for you, plus some other stuff, some tier 7 basics, Sig Stones, lots of great stuff. Also some consumables. I see not bad in the chat. We're taking that. We're seeing it? Fantastic. Get in there, get that compensation. Let us know in the chat what you get from that Titan Nexus crystal if you are a Valiant player. But let's move on to the show now because we got a really, really stacked show. All right, so Twitch drops, rebirth crystals. If you have not linked up your Twitch drops, make sure you do that. Make sure you do that, all right? This is how you do that right there. You go into account management, you link it up, make sure you're linked, all right? Get those rebirth crystals. Now, when it comes to this over here, we got the giveaways as well. As always, every stream, we have 5 Titan crystals. We have a choice champion selector between Frankencastle and Dracula. So make sure you go to playcontestofchampions.com/stream giveaway to make sure that you can enter to win that Titan crystal, to win one of those champions. All right. So we had about 4 months of the Fantastic Force saga, right? We had a pretty fun saga. We had a lot of things going on, a lot of fantastic things, no pun intended. A lot of things to do with the Thing, Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, Human Torch. Well, that saga has come, that saga has gone, and a new one will be taking its place. Does anybody know what it is? Does anybody know what it is? We got Maestro, we got Carolina Dean, we have Gladiator and Isophene here. What do you think it is? We have the Founders War Saga coming to you live for the next 3 months between October in December, we have a little bit of saga here that's going to be narratively focusing on the idol champions, Isophene, Lumitrix, Solvark, and the incoming Imperiosa. So let's go over a little bit what is going to be coming in this saga. We have a new Saga Chase champion, we have a new idol chase, we have special rotating saga boosts, saga-themed raids, as always there's that saga sale, and a special incursions event. Now this is not your typical saga incursions event. We will go over what the special one is today, but later on in the saga, there is going to be the typical saga one that you have come to expect. So the special rotating saga boosts is very similar to how those Fantastic Four boosts were during the Fantastic Force. The saga sale is also going to be very similar to how the Fantastic Force one with the fluctuating gacha box. So very similar. I believe that launches on this upcoming Wednesday if you are interested. So with the Founders War saga, with the new saga, as you guys know, we've been doing saga chases for a while. Now, I haven't really seen anybody guess what the upcoming saga champion is going to be. And I'm personally very excited for this champion. And I couldn't decide who it should be, and it took a while to decide. So I was on Discord the other day, and our buddy HRS was on Discord, and he said that since the devs are here, please release Stealth Suit Spidey 7-star. And I saw this question, and I said, why? And he made some very, very valid points. He said, cause he's awesome, cool design, fun to play, unique utility. And I read that, and I just could not ignore it. So, Spider-Man Stealth Suit will be your 7-star Saga Chase champion with the Founders War Saga. So the way that this is going to work is very similar to the Captain Marvel Saga Chase, if you happen to remember how that was about a year ago. Man, time moves absolutely way too fast. So the way that worked was I believe you had to open 50 or 100 of those Paragon or Valiant Captain Marvel crystals, and then once you hit 50 or 100, you essentially got 7-star Captain Marvel guaranteed. This is going to be incredibly similar here, but oh my god, like we're going right into the gameplay. Look at this. So this is 7-star rank 4 stealthy here against a rank 4 void. Look at these yellow numbers, especially after you go for this special one and get that precision passive. 41Ks, oh my god, on the special one. Those light attacks are doing 23K. Absolutely ridiculous. Look at this. Look at those yellow numbers, man. Oh my god. Oh my god, absolutely insane. So if you open up these minion crystals, which you can get all for free, of course, that's what we do with the Saga Chase, you can end up getting that 7-star Spider-Man Stealth Suit as well. What are the minion crystals, you might ask? Well, it's these guys over here. We have the Symbioids, the Antim-Venomoids, and the Sentinel bots. These are going to be joining your Doombots and your Deadpooloids and all your little guys as 2 stars, essentially. So you can add some more little guys to your crew of little guys. And if you open up these things, and then you can get your 7-star Stealth Spidey. Now, additionally, with this, there's also, I believe, a 0.1% chance to get a 7-star Stealthy just from opening these as well. So 99.9% chance to get one of the 2-star minions, 0.1% chance you get a natural dupe on Stealthy as well, which I think is super duper fun. But of course, these are going to be available in many different ways. Hey Finn, can we get that up on the screen here of the chase here for Stealthy by our very own Cat Murdoch, making a wonderful graphic between now and December. All this stuff, this will be posted on the forums, this will be posted on, Discord, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, super excited, man. Super excited for that. Moving on as well. Can we get full screen on this one? We get full screen on this so we can see the full text. So along with that Saga Chase, we also have full screen on the picture. On the picture. They don't want to see my face. They want to see the picture. So there we go. Look at this. The Imperiosa Chase starts now. Well, it actually started maybe like 3 weeks ago and 2.5 weeks ago in Battlegrounds, right? So the first Invade Essence is in the victory track for Battlegrounds right now. We can go back to the camera. And starting on October 8th, when this saga actually changes over, that's when we're going to start seeing that Invade Essence make its way into other modes. So like, next time we see raids, we're going to see this. It's going to take over in the weekly deals, all that fun stuff. All right. So back to kind of like, we were talking about the dev diary before. There were some updates going on, right? There were some updates that we talked about, and one of those was for EQ. So last month we launched our first adaptive EQ. Very soon it was very apparent that, hey, this thing is a little bit too overtuned, especially for our more casual players. So we kind of did an emergency tune down. Now we reduced this by about 30%, give or take, but after review, that even still was not enough. When you do an emergency tune down, once something was already live, you can't gut it too much. You have to kind of do as much as you possibly could. And that's what we did. But after, taking a few weeks to review that, coming in the upcoming October EQ, it's going to be reduced even further. So the health in Classic across the board is going to be significantly reduced, right? We're also going to be creating an Elder difficulty for Cavalier and Thronebreaker players to give those lower progression players an opportunity for a little bit more challenge if they want to push themselves for some extra rewards or just more challenge, right? If they want something a little bit more difficulty. Now, another big thing that we heard from all of you is that the classic run to unlock Elder isn't super fun. It feels like busy work, all that kind of stuff, right? So we do want to unlock Elder immediately for our Valiant players. We are committed to doing that. However, as of right now, the way our tech works, we would need a lot of engineering work to make that happen, right? And we currently have too many projects going on for the rest of the year we cannot pull people off of. We have to get those projects done first in order to get that happen. So unfortunately, we aren't able to do this immediately, but we are looking to get that happen. We are looking to make that happen early in the year, January, February, something like that. That's what we are shooting for. But we are committed to doing that, and in the time being, Classic is going to be significantly quicker. So unfortunately, we can't make that happen right away, but it should be at least easier to get to. Talking about Elder's Marks. So about a month ago, give or take, we did have the plan to remove Elder Marks in the future, pretty much in November. Now, a big reason why we wanted to do this was kind of to consolidate a lot of the resources in the game. We also hear that there's a lot of different resources going on, right? There's a lot of different things to keep track of. Elder's Marks were just one of those things. So we took that back, we started thinking about it, we read all your feedback when it comes to energy, Elder's Marks, all that stuff. We decided to essentially keep it the way that it is, right? So with a slight change, Elder Mark is going to be the exclusive ranked entry for Battlegrounds. Now, this is different from when you can enter with 15 energy, but you can still kind of do that, right? So you can no longer buy Elder Marks with units that used to be 315 units for however many, like, how much was it? Like 135 units for 350 Elder's Marks, something like that. Now you can exchange 15 energy for 90 Elder's Marks, which is 1-to-1 to how you can currently enter Battlegrounds. Overall, this is going to be significantly cheaper when it comes to buying Elder's Marks, right? So if you were to buy 30 units worth of, an energy refill, you can essentially trade in 15, 30, 45, 60 minimum on the energy, and that's going to be 360 Elder's Marks. So it's overall cheaper to enter with Elder's Marks, and we're going to be using energy for unranked Battlegrounds, which is going to be starting in Season 34. So you can play through Battlegrounds without having to worry about losing your elo, without having to worry about losing your medals for your victory track, all that fun stuff. Now, I have seen people asking, like, okay, but are the Elder's Marks staying in, like, the victory track and in the Alliance event and all that kind of stuff? Yes, absolutely. So everything happening with Elder's Marks right now is going to remain the same. It's essentially just becoming cheaper to enter Battlegrounds, which, in my opinion, is a win all around. So all existing sources will remain the same, and that's essentially the new thing. It's just the trade-in. You trade in your energy into your Elder's Marks. All right. So, have you guys been feeling a little hungry lately? Have you guys been feeling the hunger? So if you've been involved in the mini EQ, if you've done the mini EQ, you may have had a special ambush with one Jen Walters over here, right? Written by our Kabam Vincent, by the way. So players who have been infected with the hunger have been given the ability to gift that hunger to other members of the battle realm. After 9 days of careful research, of careful study, it turns out that 17.74% of the battle realm are now infected with the hunger. So, what are we ever going to do about that? Finn? Summoners, will you spread the hunger or provide the cure? Mr. Fantastic and She-Hulk kick off a mysterious October invasion, wrapping up the Fantastic Four saga with a thrilling twist. You may have already joined the hunger through a rare mini-event quest ambush, or by getting gifted the infection. On October 8th, you can choose to either join your fellow infected summoners or start spreading the cure. Keep in mind, once you take the cure, there's no going back. Now, there are 2 competing realm events with peak milestone rewards, one for each side, along with a solo event. The winning side shapes November's EQ buffs and unlocks a special relic selector pool for the entire community. Both sides can earn points by defeating champions across the battle realm, and infected players can earn points for their new side by taking the gifted cure. So, will you feed the hunger or fight for the cure? Choose your allegiance and let the best side win. Join the chaos now in Marvel Contest of Champions. All right, so what's been going on with the crazy gifts? What's been going on with the hunger? Well, starting on October 8th, the Hunger and Cure event will begin. Now, I will say right away, we did not expect all of you to be absolute goblins with these gifts. So that may have been a slight oversight on our part with all the gifts that have been sent. It was supposed to be like, hey, gonna gift my buddy one of these little hunger things. But it turns out, there's been a lot of them. So that's something for the future, definitely a learning curve that maybe you don't get gifted if you've been gifted in the past. But hey, regardless, starting on October 8th, will you spread the hunger or provide the cure? So you watched the video, right? There are 2 competing realm events here. We're digging into the Marvel Zombies thing going on. You complete your daily solo objectives for points. You gift infected summoners the cure. So there's gonna be a little bit more gifting as well. Whichever side succeeds determines the rewards. So there is that 7-star StatCast Relic Selector there for the rewards, which is really fun. And you essentially get to pick which side wins by playing with your friends, all that kind of stuff. And that's how you determine which rewards you get. Also, which like saga-specific buff you get. So the Founders War Saga Attackers buff here. For October, you're going to gain a dormant virus, granting 80% critical damage rating and some crit resist for 10 seconds. In November, you're either going to have a hunger or a cure boost as well. So they're both good. There's no downsides to either one. And again, these are NEQ and side quests. These are kind of just for fun, right? And they're fun to play around with. But this is going to essentially be chosen based on which side wins, which I think is a pretty fun thing, a little fun and interactive thing. So look at this guy. Look who's here! It's Steve! Steve is back! So Summon Symbiotes Adventure Time incursions. These are the special incursions that we were talking about at the beginning of the stream with the saga overview. This is what we're going to be utilizing as our meta event for the month, as our side quest here, starting on October 15th. My little symbiote is going on an incursions adventure. So Steve and your 3-star symbiote champions only will be moving through incursions. There's going to be about 30 zones for this one. It seems like a lot, but you're going to be supercharging your symbiote and move through those zones. Very similar to, man, it was a few years ago at this point, we had that quest where you just really built Steve up and you had all those like special hacks for him. We're kind of doing something similar this time in incursions. Stay tuned for the forums and the website. I believe after the stream today at around 11 a.m. PST, we're going to be posting the full breakdown of all the hacks that you can get, all the rewards you can get, all the fun stuff. So, speaking of fun stuff, we also have Spider-Man's Amazing Realm Tour, Alliance Super Season. So this kicked off about 2 days ago, and if you haven't joined an alliance yet, make sure you join an alliance and play in some multiplayer modes. That's Alliance War, Battlegrounds, AQ and Raids, and also Incursions. Now, bounty missions will be starting on October 8th, and all of this will be contributing to the Realm event where all alliances are participating in. So, starting on October 8th, which is on Wednesday, by playing multiplayer modes, alliances unlock daily Bugle bounty missions that all members can participate in. Complete daily Bugle bounty missions to unlock elite bounties. And extra, Bounty Targets Alliance event, that is also going to be a thing. Earn points as an alliance towards this event by defeating bounty bosses. Now, to go along with the Alliance Super event, we also have Battlegrounds Season 33 for our 3rd anniversary season of Battlegrounds. Launching on October 22nd, we have a special solo event just for playing. There's going to be tier 7 basic fragments in there. There's going to be 7-star 6 stones, some Titan shards, also a profile picture and emote and rank rewards, and this all coincides with the Alliance Super Season. All right, what do we got next here? At the base. At the base. So speaking of hot topics, we got something else to talk about here. So, with the Founders War Saga, Isophene will join the base pool, and other idols will follow in subsequent rotations, right? So, Isophene in December, Lumitrix in, I want to say March off the top of my head, but whenever it is. On top of that, it's not going to be just Isophene. Because in December, we're also going to have the Glorious Guardians, we're also going to have the Rebirth Champions, and we're also going to have a lot of the Saga and Rare Champions entering the base pool as well. So if you have a lot of 7-star shards, if you've been hoarding, if you don't have a lot of these champions, well, all these guys are going to be popping. This is 6, 12, 18, 19, 20 or so champions entering the base pool in December. A little long overdue, but all these champions are going to be entering. Take a screenshot, because I'm going to move on now. All right. Summoners Fest, if you haven't heard, is coming to Vancouver at the Kabam HQ headquarters, November 8th and 9th. Come on down, meet the devs, play some unreleased content, massive reveals and roadmap teasers, and Battle Realm Brawl is back. Summoners Fest Realm event is not ongoing, but I'm realizing now I have not updated this slide for a few months. That's been there for like a while when it shouldn't have been. But that's all right. Summoners Fest Realm event is well over at this point. Now, when it comes to Battle Realm Brawl, huge congratulations to the 8 semi-finalists. Now, there are other people who qualified as well, but of course there are other limiting factors where people have school, they have work, they aren't able to make it to Vancouver for different reasons. These will be the 8 people who will be live on stage. Huge shout out to Mana Nagase, Andrew the Rough, Zarafa, Cantona, Stonehenge, Aura, Tilapia, and HitHack for being the top 8 semi-finalists for Battle Realm Brawl. And also huge congratulations to everybody who also qualified who can't come due to work, to school, due to other reasons as well. Ooh. Now it's time for my favorite portion of the stream. We're going to be talking about some champions. And first up, we got this beautiful guy right here. Roll the clip, Finn.
To begin, strike the opponent normally to build up some power. While building up to your special 2, work in some intercepts to make his degen dire, and slow your combos to maximize the time while the degen is ticking fast. Don't worry if the opponent won't let you intercept. You can strike their block to gain his invisibility buff, and quickly interrupt their counter with your light to dire up that degen. Then, combo into the special 2 to take that crazy damage and double it even further. If the opponent isn't already knocked out, try to land an intercept, slow down that combo, and use a striker to keep the degen dire, then combo again into a special 1 to finish it off. Now, if you're in a longer fight and you're worried about that degen expiring, you can use his special 3 to reapply and keep your opponent constantly ticking down. And hey, don't forget, Dracula's special attacks inflict passive effects. If you're up against an unstoppable opponent, you can use that special 1 for that 40-second slow passive. Or you could finish strong with his chilling special 2 to apply that fear, turning off that pesky unblockable. Either way, use your toolkit wisely and make that degen tick.
Oh, what is going on? All right, so how about, thanks for the snap, guys. All right, so Dracula, how about that? He looks absolutely incredible. I'm so excited about Dracula. I can't wait to talk about Dracula, but you know what? I just don't want to do it by myself. So what I did was I reached out to my buddy, Kabam Set, also known as Joel. You've never met this guy before, but he's one of my favorite coworkers on the team, made some absolutely ridiculous champions. Many of them are your favorites. What is going on? Kabam Set, Joel, welcome to the stream. How's it going, bud?
Pretty good.
Dude, it's great to have you on the stream.
Yeah. Well, to my amazement, I said yes and agreed to come.
And I can't believe it. Now, really quickly, we got to just look at this absolutely incredible shirt that you have on here. Can you show the people there at home? It says video game, which I think is, now why are you wearing that?
Most of my shirts have rival IPs on them, so this is about all I had that was stream appropriate.
Fantastic, I love it. So, dude, thank you so much for joining us, man. Before we jump into Dracula and all that fun stuff, can you just let us know, like, who are you? What do you do on the team? What have you designed so far?
Yep. So I'm a champion designer. I build champions and champion accessories, I guess. So I've worked on quite a few over the years. Titania, Silk, White Tiger, Shocker, recently Cyclops, and Baron Zemo as well, who some people I think are fans of him.
Just a little bit. Also, Arnim Zola as well. I have to point out, huge fan of Zola as well, and what a ridiculous design he is. Yeah.
I enjoy Zola and Zemo's synergy.
It's a great one. Oh my God.
Yeah. Whoever gave me the idea for that
one.
one.
Synergy, by the way,
they were cooking.
Who cooked up that synergy? I don't know who did that. Anyway, so dude, thank you for joining us again, man. So you kind of outlined a lot of your designs here, and I've noticed that one through line between all of them is that they do tend to be very simple, right? And I feel like that's a big part of your work. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so thank you for noticing, first off. It's a very active effort. I will say Dracula is probably like one of my more wordy champions, but in every design, I try and keep them as concise and streamlined as I possibly can. I mean, as you're going through any design process, there's always stuff you can add to any design, and you could just like add infinitely if you let yourself. I've always really tried to focus on find the thing that makes the champion special, that makes them unique and fun, and really focus in on that. Trim away the stuff that doesn't support the central goal of the character.
Very interesting. I think that's a very, very great way to go about it. And clearly, I mean, there's been lots of success with that, with all of your champions as well. They all kind of really do something very, very well, right? And another thing as well is that I kind of feel like with those simple champions, as time goes on, we always find more things they can do as well, which I find very interesting. So, speaking of champions, what's your favorite thing about Dracula?
I love the flexibility of him. I also love the fact that I gave someone a 666-second damage over time effect. It's really satisfying to watch the opponent just constantly tick down. But the way that you interact with that, the way that you can make the degen dire, which will increase the rate at which it deals its damage, there's a lot of opportunities there. He's got things that you can set up to get the light interrupts, to get the heavy charges, to get that dire. But the ways in which you can do it are pretty flexible, and I'm excited to see how players find the best ways to use him in different matchups.
Awesome. Hey, Finn, can we get the slide up on the screen for a second to show all the stuff he can do? Yeah, so obviously you guys just saw the rotation, right? But as you're saying, the versatility, it's tough to show the entire champion in the rotation, of course. We kind of want to show just how to use them, all that fun stuff. But really, there's a lot of stuff in Dracula's kit here where he's immune to heal block. He's got that very long degen, like you said, 666 seconds. That ticks faster when you interrupt the light, all that fun stuff. A very long passive slow. How long is that slow on the special one?
40 seconds,
That's
I think.
insane. Yeah. That's insane.
It's very comfortable.
He also has that's very long. A fear passive. That's very long. A fear passive.
60 seconds on that one.
Yeah, a fear passive on the special too. Also nullify on specials, some passive bleeds, invisibility when hitting block, and my favorite thing, a satisfying gameplay loop. Now, one thing I wanted to talk about specifically here is, we talked about that degen, how it gets dire. There's no dire degen on defense.
There
no
isn't.
Triple Ds,
no,
right?
You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about dying to a 666-second dot.
I think that's very good, right? That's one of the first things we talked about months ago when we talked about Dracula.
It was going to be there. We did try it. We did some experiments. But in the end, it was just, it was a lot of extra stuff.
Which we don't want. We want the simplicity.
Exactly.
Yeah. So can you kind of, I'm very curious, and I'm sure people are as well. What was the process of trying that out, and how did you come to the conclusion, all right, probably no degen on defense? Yeah,
so right out of the gate, it's spooky to just have a degen right out of the gate, but it's not necessarily unheard of in the contest. I mean, Iceman's been inflicting a cold snap right at the start of the fight for years. And degen resistance is a very science thing, so there's always going to be answers. And then on top of that, we're also trying to bake in some gameplay of can you do things to, instead of speed it up, slow it down if you're on the left side of the screen. But like you said, all of these things just sort of bloated the kit a lot and created a lot of extra stuff that he ended up just not really needing. So yeah, we just focused him on he's an attacker. He degens the defender and wipes them off the face of the earth.
Awesome. And another thing as well is that we talked about that dire degen. he's also very solid with relics as well, right? So you can make that degen dire by either interrupting with light, using a heavy attack, or activating a striker, and it stays active as long as you're attacking, right?
Yeah.
So you can kind of do a light intercept, do a full 5-hit combo, go into the striker, continue attacking, go into a special attack with a special 2, get all the bats on screen, right?
Plenty of bats, yeah.
Plenty
It's
of bats.
a little bit more of my silk designs coming back up again. Yeah, stretching
Right.
out those combos as long as you possibly can.
Yeah.
To get as many ticks as you possibly can within those frames.
Incredible. So how about we do a little bit of live gameplay here? You're comfortable fighting with?
I mean, we can try it.
We can try it. So Joel's gonna jump in here against good old Venom Pool.
Chat, I'll give a disclaimer to this. I've basically done nothing but play video games with my finite time on Earth, and I'm still not very good at them.
It's a tough game. It's a tough game. All right. So
I'll do what I can.
So jump on in here, and I'll give a little bit of commentary for you. All right. So we're starting off here against Venom Pool with Dracula. All right. We're going for a Dex. We hit the block, and that. Oh wow! Look at that, man! Look at that. So you went.
Got
from
it.
that-
Okay, now we get to show off the regen.
So great. So you're interrupting with your light attack, right?
Yeah.
And that's important because that's going to turn that degen dire, right?
I'm going to go for something fancy.
What are you doing here?
No, it didn't work. Okay, so you can get it. You can use the miss, of course, to get those safe interrupts. But just any interrupt you can find, just within their things, you can like delay your hits. You can like punish their heavies. Anything you can find is going to get the degen dire. You can also charge a heavy and just go straight into a special attack.
Wow.
And you can see there the special 2 lasts a little bit longer. So if you can like sort of like delay that out, you'll get even more ticks
So
in.
kind of essentially let the animation play all the way out is what you're saying.
There we go. Yeah, he's being polite and not pushing me a special 3. I'm gonna.
And now that invisibility, by the way, it doesn't get consumed and go on cooldown unless you miss.
Correct. Yeah, and you can see it saved me there. I backed away from it. Oh, missed that one. We'll try and get this one more time. There we go. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you can just delay the second hit after the punish and try and go for it there. And,
Oh wow, dude, you're doing some fancy stuff going on over here.
Well, I should
that
hope so. I've been
regen's
practicing
pretty
him
good
for
too.
like
Dude.
several months.
Dude, great job. Very good stuff, man. So I'm very curious now as well. Where do you see Dracula doing really well in the contest, man?
So I'm going to try and tactfully dodge that question, actually.
That's totally fair.
I think there's more answers to that than we have time to get into. Over the course of like building him and testing him over the like several months, I just kept finding new and unique places where he just like really, really worked really well. And I'd love for players to experiment and try and find those places themselves.
Yeah.
I will say my favorite place to use them is, of course, where there's Fury buffs that you can steal.
Makes a lot of sense.
Stealing all of King Groot's stuff and just like smacking him in the face really hard. It's just, it's fun.
It does sound fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, dude, thank you so much for joining us on stream. It's been a pleasure to finally get you here. I've been twisting this guy's arm to get him on stream for months. He finally agreed to it against his better judgment. Thank you so much, man.
Absolutely.
It's been a pleasure. Of course. Now, Dracula is available in pre-release bundles on, I believe, October 9th. Can we get that slide up so I could just make sure real quick? I do believe it is October 9th. Yep, look at that. Great memory right there. And also, Crystals and Arena on October 16th. So that's our first champion of the month. Can we see the second one now, Finn? Pop that video.
To begin, strike your opponent to begin building power, and don't forget to weave in some heavies to inflict your incinerates. After dashing backwards, you'll begin to run and go unstoppable. Don't be afraid to dash in at the opponent to land those unstoppable combos. Once you reach 2 bars of power, launch your special while unstoppable to gain increased attack from Berserk and really juice up those hits. After this, work your way up to that special 1 and launch to unleash those big bursts of damage. If your opponent isn't already knocked out, keep on launching that special 1 and punish them until they are.
All right, so that's our second champion of the month. We have Frankencastle. What an interesting champion. Can we get the slide up on the screen? Look at that. Oh, in unison, Finn. Beautiful. So, Frankencastle is coming into the contest with some very unique abilities here. He's immune to poison, petrify, and specter, but he also has an innate willpower mastery ability. So I believe he has 1 point in the willpower mastery. He's got that rage debuff, so he's got a lot of healing going on. He's an unstoppable machine. He doesn't idle, and he goes unstoppable when walking forward. Incinerates on special 2, ends his heavy attack, got those Berserk passives for some extra damage, Undying passive from his special attacks, and Crush to break through block. Now, I love champions who are like a little weird, have like a bit of an interesting, odd playstyle. Like in the spirit of Joel, who is just here, I am such a huge fan of using Ornamzola, who's got a very fun and quirky playstyle. Frankencastle is just as quirky. So, let's go ahead and do some live gameplay here against a big old green monster in the spirit of Halloween, right? We got Immortal Abomination. All right, Finn, can we get the live gameplay going? All right, so this is a very interesting playstyle here. It's very fun. What we're going to do here is I personally like to start with some heavy attacks to get the Incinerates going. Bam, and then we're going to walk forward, and I'm just going to be a goblin and just kind of charge that heavy attack while unstoppable, right? Gonna bait out the special 1 from this guy. See how we just like walk forward, unstoppable, bam. Go for it again. Now, of course, I probably don't recommend that you always, just go for all of that and get hit, but you do have the regen from the willpower going. Now, you do want to use, immune to poison, by the way, you do want to use your special attacks while you are unstoppable. And this is going to do some nice bursts. Yeah, that's a fun playstyle, man. That is fun. He does a lot of damage. He's a little quirky, but if you utilize him properly, he is a very, very solid champion. Now, I took a little bit more damage there than I had to. You really don't have to do the wild heavy attacks, but fun, So we want to have fun whenever we can. So yeah, let's get that slide back on the screen here. That is Frankencastle. He does a lot of interesting things. He takes a little bit to get used to. He's not the type of champion where you're going to go in and just do some like 5-hit combos and just kind of get the most out of him. You really want to utilize that unstoppable ability, stack up those Incinerates, go for that special 1 afterwards while you are unstoppable with a lot of the Berserk, right? Now, he also does have Undying in his kit. Now, Undying was an effect used for Morbius as well. And with this, we're going to be making, oh, beautiful art, by the way. Absolutely incredible art. And, actually, we'll talk about the Undying in just a moment, because there is one other thing that we do have to talk about when it comes to Frankencastle. And we have to give a massive, massive shout out to Casey Allen, who called Frankencastle a very long time ago when there were absolutely no hints whatsoever that this obscure character was coming to the game. So, love seeing stuff like that. Love seeing stuff like that. And when it comes to Frankencastle, when it comes to Undying, right? Morbius has this effect and launching alongside Frankencastle. Undying is being updated to include power stings and all damaging effects. This is pretty strong. This is a pretty strong increase here, because previously it was just direct damage, so bleed, poison, degen, that kind of stuff, right? So this update to the effect is also going to apply to Morbius as well. So yeah, pretty fun stuff for the monsters coming up next month. October is going to be a really, really fun month. Is this a recording? Yes. So, speaking of champions, we also have the Grandmaster's Grace, if you have not heard. The Grandmaster's Grace is continuing on. I'm personally very excited about that. On top of that, if you're like 30 crystals away or whatever, we aren't going to reset the timer. So, that's really great news. It's still going to be the same tuning where 120 crystals, even if you open 4 months from now, you'll get that 7-star guaranteed, which is super, super cool. Really, really fun thing. I personally used my Grandmaster's Grace on Zemo, the champion who is not a new champion. Most people I know go for the new champion, but I like Zemo, and I had a lot of fun with that. So yeah, man, Grandmaster's Grace. How exciting is that? All right, so had a lot of fun champions here. We just finished the Fantastic Four saga where we had a lot of Fantastic Four themed champions. I kind of wish we had like one more Fantastic Four surprise. One more fantastic surprise. Finn, what do you think about that, bud?
Super Skrull's back, and he's feeling fantastic. This tune-up is all about making Super Skrull less rigid to play. His overload buffs now trigger easier. Just 3 buffs for Undermine and Vigilance, and only 6 to activate those Nova Fists. He also gained Special Lock immunity, and his Falter and Energy Vulnerability are now passives. And it can trigger through block, so feel free to get creative. His converted buffs last longer, and those special 2 Incinerates hit just as hard, but burn out faster, dropping down to 5 seconds for some bursty numbers. Oh yeah, and against tech champions, he's bringing the Nova Flames, so those incinerate immune tech champs don't scare him one bit. Just build up your buffs and set yourself up. Then, trigger Cosmic Overload with at least 6 Furies and slam that special 2 for some spicy red numbers. Have you updated yet? Well, you should. Super Skrull's Cosmic Power is waiting for you in the October update.
All right, so Super Skrull is getting that little surprise buff to round out the Fantastic Four saga. Now, really funny, I did this in rehearsal yesterday too. I completely skipped the giveaway and also the following slides before Super Skrull. So before we talk about him, playcontestofchampions.com/stream giveaway. I was just so excited about Super Skrull, guys. I couldn't. I got to get right to it. So do this. You have a chance to win a Titan Crystal. You have a chance to win either Frankencastle or Dracula. 5 winners per each thing. Playcontestofchampions.com/stream giveaway. Beautiful artwork as well. I got so excited about Super Skrull, I skipped like 5 slides. Because before we even talk about Skrull, we have to talk about the idols. So Solvark, the idol chase, it will end October 7th. That's your last chance to get the Shatter Essence. So if you're like at 10 or 11, if you're at like 1 or 2 more, he's not going to be in the next raids. So if you were to like kind of like waiting that out, October 7th is your last chance for this. He'll still be available for trade-in, but the Shatter Essence will be gone. And the next day, it will be replaced with the Invade Essence, which is currently in Battlegrounds. And the next raid will be seeing this and all that fun stuff. Now, oh my God, not even yet. We have this beautiful artwork as well of all the idols, all of them coming together. Absolutely beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. Now, Super Skrull buff launching in October. This guy feels like a different champ, honestly. This is one of those tune-ups, very similar to, I would say, kind of like, I'd say similar to Purgatory in a way, where not much changed, but she really feels like a different champ, and she's less stressful to play, and everything kind of lines up. And the damage is really good. The damage was good with Purgatory before the buff, but it was like kind of hard to kind of line things up, you know? Now, there's less fury required to activate the Nova Fists. He's got Nova Flames against tech champions. Duration of his converted buffs are increased. His special 2 incinerates tick harder in a shorter amount of time for more bursts. He's got special lock immunity, other minor changes like he's got now passives for the falter and energy vulnerability so they won't be purified. He's also just less frustrating on attack. That's the biggest thing. He's always had damage, but it's been like kind of frustrating to get there. And he's also more valuable on defense as well. So I think he's going to be a really solid addition to the game. So very excited for that. Such a cool champion with incredible animations. And now he's going to be pretty fun to play. All right. All right. Whoa, what a surprise. Jumping right into that. Spider-Man Pavita Prabarkar will be your next double track event. Where there's a spider, there is 2. 7-star Stealthy is coming as the Saga Chase. 7-star Spider-Man Pavita Prabarkar starting October 8th in the double track event. How fun is that? How fun is that? So Spider-Man will be available for trade-in, very similar to Morbius, Dazzler, Cyclops, Captain Britain, all those Beta Ray Bill, all those double track event type things. Spider-Man will be your next one. December 31st will be his first availability if you just get the track. November 5th is the first available time with milestone boosters if you want to get him super duper early. So he'll be in the build in November. He will not be in the build in October. Now, he will also have his pre-release bundles and crystals in Arena in December like a normal champion as well. And he's still in active development. Of course, he's a few months out, but we'll give a full look next month with the designer, but also early overview as well. He neutralizes opponents during their special attacks, places Spider Seal buffs to ramp, and has flexible spatial gameplay with multiple web traps. So that's pretty fun. More Spider-Men joining the game, and I'm very excited about that. He is a Mystic Champion, by the way. I realize now I forgot to put the class anywhere. He is a Mystic Champion, which is probably obvious with the neutralizes and all that kind of stuff, but just in case it's not. Pretty fun stuff. Pretty fun stuff. All right, moving on to kind of champion-related things, but not champion at the end of the day, because this is relics. So these are the first wave of StatCast relics. They look incredible. I believe in the upcoming build, we are fixed the squishiness of them. You know how they're kind of squishy right now? We fixed that. They're going to look so much better. Love that. Really happy about that. They look great, but you know what looks even greater, or about equally as great? Wave 2. Look at this, the first reveal of the new StatCast statues coming. We got Apocalypse, Morbius, Karnak, Human Torch, Terrax, Doctor Doom, Unstoppable Colossus, Red Skull, Moondragon, Stark Spidey, Heimdall, and Domino. So, how are these being released? On October 13th, they're launching widely, but their first appearance will be on October 8th. There will be Thronebreaker and Valiant Relic crystals present in the Appetite Contest solo event and the Hunger and Cure event. During the launch month, new relics will launch into a timed exclusive pool for Wave 2 specifically. These will use the standard StatCast shards that you might still have built up. And similar to Wave 1 event, they're also going to be launched out in the unit and cash offers as well. And in the following month, they're going to move from the timed exclusive pool into the base pool with both Wave 1 and Wave 2. We're still working out how we're going to do Wave 3. I think there's a solid chance we do it the same way, but only time will tell. We're going to have to see. All right. Moving on to some other fun stuff here. So, that word is covered by my face, but that's okay. This is a brand new feature that we're launching in October. It's a very interesting feature. It's something that I'm pretty interested in. So, a new style of collection. And we got Dracula's face right there. Now, I feel like no one's really going to see this coming. But before we jump into it, let's kind of give a brief overview of what this kind of is. Now, if you're a trading card fan, any kind of trading card, I'm really big into trading cards, by the way. It's probably my main hobby outside of MCOC. If you're into trading cards, there are some trading card games with the collection aspect that have like a first edition stamp on them, right? A lot of old school cards do this mostly, not so much anymore. We're looking to implement something like that into the game. Let's take a look at what that might look like. These are going to be called limited edition champions, and launching in October, we're going to have our first style of limited edition champions called first appearance champions. They are not MCOC NFTs. They are absolutely not that. I see somebody in the chat saying that. So, first appearance champions, our first iteration of this feature will be released next month with Dracula and Frankencastle, obtained with the good old-fashioned RNG. Grandmaster's Grace 7-star pulls will not have the first appearance cosmetic. Let's take a little bit of a look at what this looks like. So I mentioned trading cards. You know how some of them have like that beautiful holofoil when you look at it like this? So when you look at your roster, it's kind of going to have that holographic style cosmetic over it. We're trying to look into cosmetics for MCOC. So we have some future goals with this, right? The big goal here is we're looking to create some value for champions in a way that is not tied to power. So the biggest thing here is that we don't want any power difference here between free-to-play players and players who get the champions early. Another thing with this is that what's so interesting about first appearance champions is that you can go for 100 of the crystals at launch, or you can go for 1. And the person who gets the 1 might get the 7-star first appearance. So it really has that old-style RNG aspect to it. At launch, limited edition champions will be tied to new champion releases in the pre-release crystals and their first crystal run as a first appearance. But we want to use this system for engagement-based achievements in the future as well. So for example, if you complete new content in like 30 days or whatever like that, as an example, you might get an exclusive limited edition champion version. So for an example from a very long time ago, Karina's Challenge Volume 1. Remember how there was the Loki profile picture? Maybe there would be a 7-star Loki for 100% all of that, but if you do it in 30 days, you get the first edition version, right? First appearance version. So if this is a successful system, if we feel like we like this, we're looking to explore more cosmetic options in the game, right? So such as customizable profiles, true achievement systems, all that fun stuff. Now we do have a deeper dev diary diving into all of this going out on the forums later today, so take a look at that as to why we're doing this, our goals with it, all that fun stuff. Now, a big part of this is we plan to expand this a bit, where it's not only for the initial release in crystals, right? And we don't want this to just be like, hey, you know, spend on those early crystals. So how are we looking to expand it? Engagement-based things, other ways, right? let's talk about this stream a little bit. What have we had in the stream so far? So, we had some spiders, we had stealthy, we had Paviter. And you know that saying, things come in threes. Spiders always come in threes. So if we look at our spiders here, let's see what this feature might look like compared to our other spiders. We have Miles Morales up there as a first appearance champion. Well, you can also have this Miles Morales as a first appearance champion as long as you're a Thronebreaker and up. You can claim a free 7-star SIG 200 Miles Morales in-game next week, coming to you at SIG 200. SIG 200 Miles Morales as a 7-star. To celebrate this new feature, the launch of limited edition champions, all summoners Thronebreaker and up will receive this via in-game message. This will be the only time first appearance Miles will ever be obtainable, and he'll arrive at SIG 200. Now, please note, really important, limited edition champions do not arrive at SIG 200 all the time. We just thought this would be really fun. Also, Miles kind of wants SIG 200, you know what I mean? So we want to give it to you at SIG 200. Now, Miles Morales, by the way, at SIG 200, at rank 4, is kind of ridiculous. Can we play the Mojo clip? So look at this. Miles, this is first appearance Miles here. You got your little spider challenges. You're going for your intercepts, right? The way you play Miles has probably been a while for most of you. You want to count down these things. So dex, parry, attack, or intercept, right? Once you build up these Furies here, you kind of want to line them up. So this is a really nice fight here. You're going to dex, you're going to attack, and we're going to parry. Watch this special too. Boom, boom, 83k on that hit, and the shocks are ticking Mojo down like absolute crazy, man. 72k on the heavy attack as well. Plus, he's also got some ridiculous utility as well with the unblockable and all that stuff. Someone's saying he's going straight to rank 4 for real. Dude, seriously? Me too, man. He's going to rank 4 the minute that he comes to my account. So very, very exciting stuff, man. 7-star first appearance Miles Morales. Hits like a wet noodle. Come on, man. Oh my God, no. No, he is super, super cool. So really fun stuff, man. Oh, we're playing this one too. All right, yeah, so hey. So I also went ahead and fought Enchantress as well. So this is, you know, it kind of reminds me of Starkey in a way, where like you build up your poise and then you kind of go to town. So I'm building up my charges, right? And I got rid of her spells. This is a rank 4 Enchantress, by the way, like Battleground style. We have 2 Furies. Don't want to bait that special. I'm going to go right in for a special 2. With just 1 Fury now. Oh my God, man. Finish off with the Relic. By the way, we have the Spidey 2099 Relic on that. Dude. Pretty good stuff, man. Pretty good stuff. So, let's say you have a first appearance champion, a limited edition champion at the top of your roster, for example, right? This is what that would look like, at least in version 1. This is what it's going to launch like. So if you have it in like, you know, the bottom tray here with the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th champions, you'll kind of have that holofoil look over it. You'll have kind of like a rainbow kaleidoscope over it, like a holofoil prism kind of thing if it's on your main champion. This will be viewable in like Battlegrounds, for example. So like when you click your champion up, that little cosmetic will be there. So yeah. Pretty fun stuff. Pretty fun stuff. All right, that's that new feature. Again, check out the forums for the dev diary later on to kind of learn a little bit about, like, you know, why we want to do this, our goals for it, all that kind of fun stuff. I think it's pretty exciting. I think there's a lot of potential for cosmetics and MCOC. I personally hope it's successful for cosmetic purposes, man. I think there's a lot we can do with it. All right, can we go back to the slide deck for a second? What is next? Here we go. Let's talk about the Radiance update. All right, so launching on October 8th, reduced prices on many top items with some examples. Tier 7 Basic is going down to 100k from 125. Tier 6 Class Catalyst going down to 2,000 from 25, or 2,500. 7-star Sig Stones down to 4,000 from 5,000. New items, Tier 3 Class Alloy Crystal. I'm personally excited for that. I really wanted to rank up my Green Goblin Relic. I got every other Tier 3 Class Alloy except for Tech. So I will be jumping into that one. And also right here, check out this right here, man. Omega Days Champion Selector, one-time ever purchase for 125k. So Omega Red, Quicksilver, Corvus, Omega Sentinel, Longshot, and Mole Man. You have your choice of one of those 6 champions. They are in the base pool now, but let's say you just really, really want Omega Red, man, and you just can't pull them. Boom, pull that Omega Red. You get that selector. That's going to live in the Radiance update there. One time ever purchase. Also got the Glory Store update. Now, this is a very, very large update here for Thronebreaker Plus, launching on October 8th. Essentially, increased quantities, decreased costs across the board, right? And lots of updates. So there's some new items, Tier 7 basic catalyst fragments, I think long overdue for the Glory Store. Tier 4 basic alloy, Tier 3 class alloy for relics. And we also added in some lower catalysts for our collectors as well, some Tier 1 basic catalysts and Tier 2 basic catalysts. That's not going to appeal to most players, but there are some players who love to rank up their 3 stars and their 2 stars, and it's pretty tough as well, right? It's pretty tough as well. So yeah, again, not going to list out all the changes because it's a very, very large change for Glory across the board on October 8th. Just jump in and make sure you look at that. All right. Oh my God, the Act 6 update. I forgot the slide was here. Launching this month. There is an absolutely massive Act 6 update ready to launch on October 8th. We're retuning some of the difficult node sets, fully removing some global nodes. Bye-bye No Retreat, and more. We're replacing or removing about 15 nodes, tuned down multiple bosses, and there is going to be an enormous reward boost. And this is big right here. There's going to be reward compensation for everybody who has done it. Now, in the past, we've done like, compensation for if you completed or explored it in the past 3 months, right? Act 6, listen, man, Act 6 was a different time. Act 6 was a different time. Personally, OG Act 6 was my favorite content ever. I know that I'm a psycho and most people don't agree, right? But it's tough. It's tough, and for players who have gone through it in the past, we feel like we want you to have the compensation as well. So the reward update is absolutely massive. The guy who was working on it did an absolutely exceptional job on this. I was giving feedback on it, and I was like, hey man, my only note is I feel like you just kind of like accidentally dropped the reward bucket on this because there's so much stuff in here. It's insane how much more value there is for Act 6 now. So really, really solid stuff. On top of the compensation for doing it, there's also going to be a special profile picture to kind of like celebrate the fact, hey buddy, you did the original version and we see you and we know that. This is just for completion. This is not for exploration. So if you haven't completed Act 6 and you want this beautiful profile picture, get in there, beat the champion, beat the grandmaster, and you can show it off, all right? I agree, Psycho Mike. Hey man, I'll take it. I'll take it. But yeah, really solid stuff, man. Super, super excited about all of that. And that's the bulk of our show here today. We still got more, but that's like a lot of the new stuff coming up. Let's look at this beautiful picture once again, because this is the Founders War Saga. Lots of fun stuff when it comes to Saga stuff coming up. But also, we also have our Saga motion comic, which is absolutely gorgeous. We have played some behind-the-scenes tracks on our social media over the past few weeks. Why don't we take a look at the full thing?
A belief of your kind is that your reach should exceed your grasp. Be certain of this, Summoner. You have reached too far. You tore across the map and brought back the monsters which hid in undiscovered corners. You have dragged in wonders as well. Beauty from beyond the stars. Sights unfit for the eyes of mere mortals. And with that bright light, deep shadows followed. Darkness which crept and crawled and clawed. You brought an audience for twisted spectacles. You have lost your grasp on this realm. Power tumbles between your clumsy fingers, and where your grip weakens, ours clenches into a fist. We were made in the perfect image of our founders, with one goal, one purpose, one drive. Take power. And we have come to do just that. You have now reached a finality. Ready yourselves for the arrival of Imperiosa and the ultimate glory of the Founders.
All right, man, what a beautiful, beautiful motion comic. So huge shout out, man, to all the people who made that. Lots of awesome stuff in that. Lots of awesome stuff in that. So that's to celebrate the Founders War Saga, but I'm bringing one more special guest onto the stream here today. We got my buddy, Kabam Vincent.
Hello.
How you doing, bud?
I'm good. You're contractually obligated to celebrate October with me.
I know.
That's my
You've been
vibe.
telling me
That's what I
every
have
day
to
for
do.
about a month.
I love October so much. Everything going on is very exciting. I just want a couple housekeeping things.
Go
right
for
off
it.
the bat. One, for the zombie things, I want to give a really big shout out to Kabam Shovel Dad, who's really, really responsible for so much in that. So if you're having a great time, make sure you're cheering on Kabam Shovel Dad. And if you're having a bad time, I'm Kabam Vincent, let's blame it on me. I didn't code anything, but we can blame me. I like getting blamed for stuff.
That idea.
It's fun.
Whenever
Why not?
whenever you guys are mad at me for something, I think that we should just be mad at Vincent, and we should just be mean to
Yeah,
him.
get on our Discord, directly tag me.
No.
And you tell me what the problem is, and I will provide an answer. That answer will be nonsensical and completely unhelpful.
Okay.
But how's it going down there? You doing good? Okay, so
It's so dangerous having this guy on the stream because he doesn't do this stuff in rehearsal.
No,
All right, so,
not even a little.
So anyway, you came on stream last month and you gave a little bit of a narrative
Yes,
overview, right?
I did.
Let's have a little bit of an update. Can we get the slide deck on the screen? Oop.
that's
There
a
it
you
is.
question. All
How
right.
about that? All right, take it away, bud.
So the last time I gave this giant strip of letters up there that was all the EQ names. So
Yeah.
I've helpfully stripped out some of the EQs we already know. So you've got this very reasonable collection of letters that can be used to form almost any word. It's not helpful at all, but it's there for you. I want to overview how the clues went for October. So for the October clues, I said January 2024. That was, of course, when we released White Tiger and Bullseye. That was a mystic and a skill. This month we have a mystic and a skill with Dracula and Frankencastle. What's more, White Tiger and Bullseye were in Daredevil Born Again. Frank Castle also in Daredevil Born Again. Frankencastle Born Again. So the clues were all there. And you might be thinking,
That is
how,
absolutely insane.
you might be thinking, how does that apply to Dracula? So for the Frank Castle part, nailed it. For the Dracula stuff, he's also here, which is fun. And that's kind of the expectations for these next ones. Will it match perfectly? Will they all be that good? No. No one asked me to do this. It's over here. No one asked me to do this. I did this for you, the people. And that's what we have going on right now. There's a lot of clues coming up for what's next. I'm very excited for some of the stuff. We already know some of the things coming out in there. We don't know some other things. January, we'll see how close I got on that one. Can't remember what I did anymore. A lot of this is 3 in the morning. Anyways, that's what I have to say on that. It's really fun. Why is Mysterio there? I like him.
He's a cool guy.
He's a cool guy. I like big bull, like fishbowl heads. It's fun.
Super
That's
fun.
it.
That's incredible. So do you have anything else to add for November?
I just want to do one big shout out.
Go for it.
Which is, again, on our Discord, which go to our Discord and also deeply respect and cheer for our mod team who are volunteers and putting up with just the best parts of humanity. And so what I want to say there's on Discord has had a thread for the summoned symbiote going. That is just like every couple days someone posts just a bunch of emojis of the summoned symbiote because they love him. And I'm so happy for you guys. It's going to be such a good October. It's going to be November coming up. We have some other stuff that people ask for a lot online. People ask for some stuff, and sometimes you get some stuff. And sometimes you don't. This was cryptid.
That was very cryptid. All right. Well, I feel like I have learned nothing for the future.
No.
But I was very excited
There's a
seeing
lot
that
of people
connection.
talking about how I just wasted a bunch of time, and I did.
Fantastic.
Were you wasting time? Because otherwise, the very important time they were spending on the stream about the video game. That was important.
Right. So,
That was going to get their bills paid.
Vincent, thank you very much for joining us and providing that absolute insanity to
You're
the
welcome. I
players
can't
here.
cross stream, so I'm just going to sit here for the
You
rest
just
of the
sit
time.
here while we go over the roadmap update. Can we get the slide back on the screen here? Fantastic. Now, friendly reminder, if you have not done the giveaway yet, play contestofchampions.com/stream giveaway for 1 of 5 Titan crystals or 1 of 5 of the Frankencastle or Dracula champ choices. All right. So now we got a little bit of a roadmap recap and some updates coming on. Up first, let's talk a little bit about Battlegrounds. We've already kind of talked about this, right? So we just had our first season where the accept and decline button, that was removed. I feel like this works a lot better for a lot of reasons. All the stuff in the middle is still kind of in progress. We're still kind of exploring the shuffles. We're exploring the whitelist and the blacklist, exploring those little leagues. We do have unranked battlegrounds coming in November for Season 34. We talked about this about an hour ago, so we don't really want to dive too much further into this again, but you're going to match based on your roster. I actually feel like I didn't say that earlier, so that's good that I have this here. But there's no victory track or gladiator circuit stakes attached, with 5 energy per match. Speaking of battlegrounds, this is kind of coming out of left field. Multiplayer timers launching on October 15th. SP3 skip will be enabled in all modes with a timer. That is pretty crazy, man. That is pretty crazy. So for a very long time, champions like, for example, Symbiote Supreme haven't been the best in battlegrounds because, like, yeah, Special 3 is kind of long. You kind of want to use that over and over, especially with the Mystic Dispersion against those Cosmics, right? So there were reasons why we didn't have the SP3 skip, lots of reasons why in the past, and we've talked about this a lot over the years at this point. But it kind of feels like, hey, you know, the game's in a different spot than it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So, you know, champions who want that Special 3, I see a lot of W's in the chat, so it feels like that's really good. Someone's saying Airwalker buff. Maybe? Maybe? I don't know about Airwalker for Battlegrounds, but hey, give it a shot, man. Give it a shot, you know? But yeah, lots of champions can be opened up by this. Symbiote Supreme, I think, is just a really, really solid example of someone who will kind of like get like a new, fresh start with this. And this is also going to apply to Alliance War, by the way. Also AQ and Incursions, all that kind of stuff. So really nice update, I think. Prestige 30 moving to AQ, launching October 27th. With the AQ week that launches that week, Alliance Prestige, that's when it's going to swap from top 5 onto top 30 to coincide with the Solar Prestige that is currently in the event quest. And there will be SP3 skip in there. So side quests, more to come, right? We had some interesting side quest format over the past few months. We had the Squad Builder, the Fantastic Force event. We had the limited run mode with Doom Cycle. We have another new side quest format coming not next month, but the one after. Saga Towers. Now this is really interesting. I was playing it just the other day, playtesting it. Really, really fun format, honestly. It's a brand new meta event format inspired by other like tower climb formats. It's like time attack style. If you run out of time, just hit retry. If you die, just hit retry. No consumables, no revives, no potions in the mode. Yeah, more in-depth look next month, but it's really, really fun. It's a mode that's not supposed to be hard, right? It's supposed to be like, you know, kind of defeat the opponent, do as much damage as you can, beat the clock. Really fun. Really fun meta event, side event format. Very excited to jump into it next month, trying more things. Event quests, auto-scaling stuff, right? We talked about the updates that are coming this month. We're making classics significantly easier. We're exploring more updates as well. We're definitely talking about, you know, the outdated class nodes and everything, so we definitely want to bring those in line and give those a bit of a refresh as well. So we're definitely putting a priority on all of that. Daily Quest rework is live. Those are super duper fun. The weekly Alliance super event is also live. Super fun. Radiance update is live next week. The Glory Store update is live next week. The X6 update is live next week. Next week is a pretty big week because we also got that Miles Morales gift going out. And yeah, man, we also have the giveaway winners. How about that? We got to do a refresh, right? Yes, we do. We got to do a refresh on that slide. But
well, it just gives us more time to talk.
yes, it does.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great,
You have a nice
buddy.
day?
I had a fantastic day,
It's
actually.
early in the morning here in Vancouver.
It's very early. It's also a little chilly out today.
It is. That's why I wore the nice sweater.
Smart.
It's seasonal.
Very smart. So anyway, we got a very, very large month coming up in October. We
I'm
good?
seeing the high sign from Riggs.
Does that mean we're good?
We're-
You could talk, buddy.
We're not good.
We're
not good.
yet. That's fine. So let's talk about what we got going on.
If someone tosses me my phone, I think we do have like the names of the winners in a chat somewhere.
yeah, I think we could probably just.
Or we could just vent. What people want is more
Yeah.
of this.
You're
Hi.
right, you're probably right.
How are you?
Did
You
we,
doing
so
good?
are we having tech issues or are we just waiting for a
It's
refresh?
okay. I'm just going to talk to the players. So the thing about the Marvel universe
Right,
is
do you
it's been
have a
going
list?
since the 1960s. This is fine, and it's just really an encapsulation of the diversity and kindness that's available in the human spirit. And I
I'm
think
gonna
that's
get
what
the list.
And I think
I'm
that's
gonna
what
get the
draws
list.
me into Marvel stories is that so many of the heroes are the everyman. That's why Spider-Man was so influential. Anyone can put on the mask. You could be a hero at home just by doing something kind to someone out there in the world. Maybe that someone's you. Today, take a break, reflect, touch grass. Think about the ways that you can make the world better, and I'm sure you're doing it right now. How are you doing down there? You good?
Doing fantastic.
Okay.
Hey there, buddies. All right, so we're having some tech issues here. Live show. We'll do it live. So we're going to talk a little bit about our winners today. So for the Titan Crystals, we got 5 Titan Crystals today. We got Anonymous Coward. I don't think you're a coward, but you are anonymous, my friend. Sedani 11, Steel Apex 23, Rod Remarkham, and Droyle. Congratulations for winning a Titan Crystal. I'm so proud of you. Please let us know who you got. Now, when it also comes to the 1 of 5, this is so distracting because we also have the Twitch stream going right here.
Yeah,
so
no, it's
I'm
great.
looking at
No,
myself
just keep
talking.
going. Just keep
Don't close
going.
my drops, bro.
I got you, bro. You're good. You're good. When it comes to the champion choice selector, we have Ed Mann, MJ Livingstone, Shanky 10, Zeno Leviathan 9, and Ralph Diaz. That's right. And that is Kabam Dork, Dorky Diggity Dave over there. Congratulations to our 10 winners. I'm super proud of you. Well, we have a very fun October coming up. Finn, can we get the stream back up for the slide deck for the... We can't. No. We can't. Wow. All right, so imagine there's a beautiful picture here that is showing all the things coming in October and a wonderful splash screen.
If you move slightly out of the way, we can get the monster splash screen.
We also have the monsters. And the monsters
are great.
Is really cool. You know what, man? That just is the beauty of a live show. And I gotta tell you, I'm feeling something right now. Thank you so much.
The best part is no one's commenting about any sort of parallel ironies of anything right now.
Beautiful.
It's weird that I would bring it up.
Beautiful.
All right.
Love that.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Thank you so much for watching. Much love to all of you. We love having you in the Battle Realm. We love having you in the contest. We love being here live on stream with all of you. And there's nothing we love more than making this game and playing it with all of you and just kind of living in this world with all of you.
Yeah. Real summoners don't hit skip on dialogue. I'll see you guys later.
Also that.
Have a good one.
Thank you for joining us. If you enjoyed the stream, make sure you check out the next one.
We'll see you
Okay.
in the Battle Realm.